It's time for practice then on a Thursday here in Monaco. It is the fourth round of the 2025 FIA Formula 3 World Championship and sunshine around the Principality of Monaco. Well, alongside the now Formula 4 World Cup at Macau, Formula 3 gets back to Monaco. It's our third visit here in the new era. Track temperature 22 degrees Celsius, air temperature is going to be up there as well. All 30 cars venturing out onto the pit lane around the beautiful Principality that is heading down through the hairpin towards the two portiers as well. With the new build now complete, they've removed the fake landscape from the camera angles, and Monaco has never looked more spectacular as the beautiful sunshine reverberates off the new and the old and the classical buildings. The virtual safety car gets deployed for its test. So a lot of intrigue then after last time out in Imola, where race control was the main focus, about how late safety cars got called, how sometimes they were necessary, sometimes they weren't, drivers being put at risk. There's been a new mandatory meeting that's going to be in place. The drivers have voiced their concerns across all series, and new procedures have been put in place. The head of the GPDA, Alexander Wirtz, actually said that the only thing he actually directly commented on was the safety car in Formula 1, where when Esteban Ocon stopped at the exit at Tosa, it was a virtual safety car, and when Kimi Antonelli stopped, it was a full safety car. As we explained on air, it's because he went higher up the circuit, and it was harder to recover the car in a safe manner, with the recovery vehicle having to come across the circuit to take it back in. Here's the calendar then as well, with the driver standings. It's well, Kamara leading the way on 73 points, Noah Stromstead on 52, with Tim Traminitz on 48. Kamara dominating with pole positions. We won't have qualifying today. It's an unusual situation where only the Formula 3 and Formula 2 practice sessions take part today. Tomorrow we have all of the action as well for qualifying, as well as the Porsche Super Cups. They don't race at all on Saturday, but they're back for the main race on Sunday. So the cars completing their infield laps. The virtual safety car is still deployed. It'll be out for a maximum of 90 seconds, which is a whole lap duration as they fly back around. There's Alessandro Agusti as well, running 12th in the standings on 17 points. The JBMotorsports squad hopefully going to be having a little bit of an easier weekend than back in Imola. Well, we're going to have a couple of interviews lined up across the 45-minute session as well. Drivers will get a chance to do practice starts as well as the green flag comes back out. The virtual safety car has been rescinded. And Callum Vosin in the Ronin Motorsport coming up to the top of the hill at Massenet, down through Casino Square towards Mirabeau. And then the choose your pick, actually, the Lowe's hairpin, the Station hairpin, Fairmont is where it is currently being called. It's been named many things over the years. Traminitz then, 149.184. The back lap behind the virtual safety car now completes the first lap, still warming up tyres. A few new parts of the circuit have been resurfaced as well in order to provide better grip. The run out of Saint Devote up the top of the hill has been completely resurfaced. And then down as well into the Nouvelle Chicane, as we saw back when they raced here a few weeks ago. No historic Monaco. That comes next year on its biannual event. Next year Monaco will host 3 events with the historic Formula E and Formula 1 as they head down through the tunnel towards the chicane. Kamara on a 1:43.098. Tapping in. Roman Belinsky's going into 2nd place as well. James Headley in 6th position now as we see a few more swap arounds. A couple of pieces then to catch up on in terms of the new situation of things as well. Prema running a special tribute to their IndyCar team. Just a few stickers around with support to their Indy colleagues who have done an incredible job to come through. He has Roman, of course, as well, now just handling a little bit up coming into the last corner, actually. So now we're on with Bruno DePino. Just a few people catching up at Anthony Nose. But yes, Robert Schwartzman, who has taken pole position for the 109th running in Indy 500 with Prema, rookie team, rookie driver. First time either have happened since the 1990s as well, and the first rookie driver properly as well to even be in a chance to win since Alexander Rossi did it back in 2016 when he did the Lift and Coast Fuel Run in the 100th running. Just like the 100th running, it's a sellout crowd with over 350,000 packing into the speedway. So you can join us for all that coverage throughout the weekend. We've got Carb Day tomorrow, followed by the pit stop practice, and on Sunday from 4 o'clock we are live with a build-up show. 1 hour 45 minutes, of course. Well, realistically, it's only 90 minutes because we head out on the parade laps at 5:30. Green flag is at 5:45 as Kamara has a little bit of a slide coming through Mirabeau, down through Casino Square now. 1.17 seconds up on Champions' time. It's been a 1:36.685. The car's still getting up to temperature. A little bit of a kickback as well as they come into Portier 1 and then Portier 2. Slight reprofiling to make it a little bit easier. Not changed too much, but instead of the 90-degree intro angle we used to have, it's been brought in the barrier as much as it can up towards the pavement. The drivers now have a smoother line, and they should realistically get some overtakes coming from Formula 3. F1 cars a bit too much. Nicholas Solov goes top, 1:33. And now we get our first proper lap times coming in. Lawrence Van Hopen, 1:30.619. Duka Tappinen, 1:30.984. That's already getting more faster as well as they come in. Just realised we haven't actually shared the timing screens. So I'll share that to you now as well so you can see the timing screen to come through. Noah Stromstead, 1:30.051. Rafael Kamara is up there as well. 1:30.367. Lawrence Van Hope 1:30.619 as we see Trident watching on in the pit lane. Arms folded, just hoping that they get enough of practice time. A bit less pressure on the support series because they now get the opportunity to practice today. Any accidents they have, or any dates that they need to change, they get overnight to do so to go into qualifying. And qualifying is split up into two separate parts. 15 drivers in Group A, 15 drivers in Group B. Pole sitters will set the odd side of the grid. Second place from that on running order sets the even side of the grid. So basically whoever tops it in the combined session. There's a lock up there coming in from the MPs down in towards turn of 1. I can see who it was from the angle. As Tim Chaminet's 1:28.875 is set the best lap time. Alessandro Augusti as well in second, 1:28.989. Right, this is Callum Bosin through the swimming pool section in towards the chicane. Intro comes okay, and traffic! That's his teammate directly ahead of him as well, so this is the one problem you get at Monaco. Cars just lining up, coming into Rascasse. And you're very much blind coming through into that section because as soon as you dart out through the chicane, you're aiming towards the wall, you get round the second part of the corner, and now you see the cars in front of you. We've had a few accidents there over the past. If you look back, actually, the reason we've got this split qualifying format, if you want to take a look at it, go onto YouTube and look at the GP2 2011 qualifying session. A multitude of red flags across the entirety. Qualifying ended up being abandoned because of driving standards. And the grid being set up as it was. And then the next year we came back in 2012, a new format came in. So it's been around now for donkey's years. But it's a one-off format, and we have had a couple of times over the years where wet weather has arrived in the middle of the session, which has changed things up just a little bit as well. So, 34 minutes to go. Early on now, coming down in towards the braking zone for the chicane of the Claymore team. Very hard on the brakes here and downshifted. Made a few errors there coming in. Turned in too early and had to correct the steering wheel mid-corner. So you lose a couple of tenths there. But the time's improving every second. He'll still improve. There you go. Look, he's already 0.171 up. As they fly through the swimming pool chicane, past where the commentary boxes are, in front of the pit lane area. Oh, and there's a lot of traffic now into Anthony Noakes, and that's Spawn early on's lap. This is what they've been told not to do coming into qualifying, as well as backing up drivers. There'll be a lot of impediments coming tomorrow. Leon then lost 3 seconds on that lap alone, and this is Mari Boya also. Look, this is already happening coming into the swimming pool chicane. The white flags are out, and he's trying to overtake on a fast lap, and the car's just slowing down. 30 drivers in one part of the track is never, ever a good idea. Many people say, why are we bringing Formula 3 to Monaco? They were here in 2012, and they ended up upside down in numerous races. Alex Brundle crashing with Alex Powell on the start of the sprint race. And in the feature, we had cars literally flying into the barriers at the bottom of the chicane at the exit of the tunnel. Chaminet's looking good if he can get a good run in. Callum Bosin, 128.6 as things stand. Oh, very close to the barrier at the exit. For Chaminet's up towards the line. The sun reflecting off the nose cone. Oh, the golden for MP, and he's top of the moment. It's a 127.733 as things stand. So, Alice, let's have a look into the group chat then. Big Week for Motorsport says Plug. Mozart says hello. Plug says also hello, everybody. Does anyone know where I can see this as well? We've got Sky F1. That's where we are watching this. Oh, Roman Belinsky! Sideways through the swimming pool chicane. Not exactly how he wants to spend his day. Martin Stenshaw. Keep getting told off because in NASCAR there is Steinhaus and then Stenhouse-Shaw, so make a few errors. Yeah, so Martin Stenshaw then coming through. I haven't seen Ugo Ugachuru so far. He's down in 25th position as well on a 130.977. The field actually separated by not that much. No, I wonder why at the top as well the time's going to take. Ah! Well, that explains it. The timing monitor isn't actually loading. I thought not. I thought there was an issue with said timing towers that you were looking back at home. There we are. They have now activated. Yeah, the streaming PC is having a bit of an upset day. It doesn't like that we're having to work on a Thursday. So there's the correct times now coming through. With Tim Chaminet's on top. And Solov in P2. 30 minutes to go then. On board with Lawrence Van Hopen, who's got stuck in this traffic. Okay, so that's the first time I've ever seen a driver tracker in Formula 3. Ever. Never seen that before. Now, just for confirmation, what you're seeing if you're watching along with us on the TV pictures at home, you have access to that. We do not. There is no driver tracker in Formula 2 or Formula 3 or Porsche Supercup. So that is the first time I've ever seen one in a junior formula. I hope we get access to that soon. That would be invaluable data to be able to bring onto the stream as well, so we can actually see where everybody is at once. Santiago Ramos, I can visibly see him as well as see him on the driver tracker. He's coming through the Nouveau chicane, down towards the back. He's got the middle sector coming up at the exit of the swimming pool section now. And he's up. Fast. Oh, big slide! And he saves it! Big one there for Ramos. The rear slide as he catches up through the swimming pool chicane. The rear tyre gets loose. Massive opposite lock. And a huge save from Santiago Ramos. I'll say he was fastest of all in the middle sector, and he's sliding coming out of Anthony Noakes as well. Rear tyre setup, not the best then, as he comes across the line, and he goes second fastest, a time that surely would have been P1 if it wasn't for the slides. What about Dominguez now as he comes through Raskas up to Anthony Noakes? It is uphill through that section as well. It's surprising the elevation change you don't see on television pictures. Over the line, fast of all, first sector. Second sector is personal best, and he's second fastest now with a 1:28.188. Tim Traminitz to the other MP then coming across the line as Alessandro Augusti as well going second. Traminitz across the line, and he's faster still, 1:27.459. So he's got half a second on the field as Bruno Del Pino goes up into 10th position. Traminitz with the fastest of all third sector. This was Santiago Ramos coming through the swimming pool chicane. Turns into the right, that's fine. Rear steps loose, tries to correct it. Opposite lock coming through and somehow avoids the barrier. Very quick reactions there. If that was a Formula 1 car, I doubt you would be able to do that because of the largeness of the car. Noah Stromstedt gone third fastest as well, 1:28.005. He's had the fastest middle sector of all at a 40.4. Yeah, just keep an eye out as well if that is correctly working. So, Pirelli compound here, only one tyre for this entire weekend. It is the soft allocation for Monaco. There's no medium, no hards, it is just the soft tyre for this event. Lap record stands at a 1:23.278 set by the High-Techs in 2023. The pole time last year, a 1:23.942. With the new car we've got this year, we are expecting that to come down a bit, but it being right now at a 1:27 is surprising me, as traffic still a factor of cars just literally like a line of ants coming through the chicane at the Nouvelle. Down to back. Oh, this is just getting ridiculous. Solo Boya all creating it. Badoa we're on board with now. Sun. Oh, and Badoa's trying to go around the outside, going into the chicane. He's not taking any Mickey now, is he? He wants to get on with it. Driver's trying to block him. Well, Badoa's certainly got his father's racing instincts. He did that back in the 1990s here at Monaco. Did Luca Badoa in the qualifying sessions we had back then when we had as many as 40 cars running around Monaco. There is Ugo Ugachuru running now in 20th position. Trying to see where he is in the championship. Down in, well, he's 20th in the championship as well, on 4 points only. I haven't talked about that's Pumas Akidu actually. He's down in 22nd position. So the drivers are usually quite high up in the standings. Not impressing that much. Struggling possibly to get a lap time in. That's Callum Mosin now, 12th fastest. Yellow flags come out on the sector charts. Just look down at the timing monitor. Green flag though has come back out. As we take a look at Martin Estenshaw then. Yep, Santiago Ramos, Callum Mosin all coming back into the pit lane. So that yellow flag, I wonder if it was down at Saint-Devote. There's no yellow flags down at the chicane. There's only really 3 opportunities to go off here and come back. That's down at the chicane, down at the hairpin at Mirabeau, down at the runoff area here at the bottom of the Nouvelle chicane, which goes down JFK Avenue. Well, I say down, it's sort of up JFK Avenue. It's steep down here. If you think about what happened in the Formula E when they used to come out of Saint-Devote, down JFK Avenue and then back around at the chicane Nouvelle. It's a staggering drop. It's actually the old ramp up when Formula 1 came through back in the early days. This track has actually changed dramatically when they increased the segments. We are trying to get a feature set actually. We're trying to film it later on today now that we've got the ability to. Of a lap around Classic Monaco. So on the esports simulators and see what we can do. I'm trying to find some 1960s cars as well that we can get into the simulator. And then they're letting this Muppet out as well, so that's going to be fun. Bruno Del Pino now coming coming through at the hairpin. A lot of curb actually as well as it comes through. Yeah, they have. Now they've put Salesforce banners up at the side. Anything for advertising these days comes through. So, first segment. Oh, what's Noah Stromstedt done? Rear right suspension. That tyre looks a little bit grey. Does he just kiss the barrier? The Pirelli writing's been worn off a little bit. I'm sure we'll see a replay if he's done anything. Yeah, it just looks a little bit loose. We'll see if he boxes or gets ready to do a faster lap. It's 5th fastest at the moment. Traffic galore. Well, that's the word here at Monaco anyway, trying to get anything done. There's always traffic around such a small city. Blue flag's out now in the tunnel. Rafa Kamara trying to coming up. Driver's now blinded as they head down to the braking zone. Oh, there we go. That's somebody scraped the barrier. Coming down into the chicane. There's bits of Qatar Airways advertising strewn across the circuit. 23 minutes to go then. Riding on board with Theophile now. He comes down into the chicane at Nouvelle for the van Amersfoort Racing. Oh, Theo Greenies as well, look at that. 23.583, fastest of all in the first sector for Alessandro Gusti. Unfortunately for TFR now, that's 4 tenths down in that middle sector. So Solov as well in 3rd to come out. Oh, and traffic. Always traffic. Hopefully it's not going to affect him that much to move up from 21st position. And goes 14th, 1.1 seconds down. There's one of the dams blocking him in front. Now take a look inside. This would be... Yeah, this is Alessandro Gusti coming through the Nouvelle chicane. Over the line. Chaminet's fastest in the... Well, actually, he's been beaten by Nicolas Solov. Gusti goes top, 1.9 up. Chaminet's goes faster, 1:26.608. But I'm looking at Nicolas Solov. That middle sector looking very quick as he comes out of the last corner. Over the line, don't know why the timing screens again decided to have a bit of a freeze. Solov over the line and goes 3rd fastest. 1:27.146. Yeah. So slightly down, but improvements coming. There's James Water for the ART squad. Mediums go off. Softs come on. Softs being the primary tyre here. The ones you have to run in the 2 races. Medium very much only the practice tyre you allow us this weekend. Also, mediums here they get an additional set of tyres. It's fascinating the Formula 3 because they get an additional set of tyres from running down through the support paddock, which is located a mile away. It's located in a car park just at the opposite end of Portier. So they have to drive through Portier to get through to the circuit. So it's a wonderful, it's just literally a car park. It's a multi-story car park, and that's where the F2 and the F3 support paddock is this weekend. So all the teams get an extra set of tyres, just an old demonstration set to bolt on and get driven down. Fascinating how unique Monaco is as there's a queue coming into the pit lane. For Bruno Delpino to get stuck there. So multiple cars then running in. Here's TFL now in the Van Amersfoort Racing. Off go those mediums, on go those softs as we get ready. 25 minutes in, 20 to go. We're past half distance in this practice session now. And as most of the field are now diving into the pit lane, they've still got a lot more action than normal here. Well, with all 3 pole positions, getting those points on the board. Ramos, Solov, Chaminet's winning the sprint races so far. Rafa Kamara winning 2 of the 3 sprints, put him in the championship lead. Ramos winning the other, so it's Rafa Kamara on 73. Noah Stromstead actually never won a race this year, but being remarkably consistent has put him second on 52 points. Tim Chamlin's won the sprint. I'll put him on 48 now, as the entire field comes now into the pit lane for the mid-session change around. It's time to say good afternoon to our commentators on the world feed. It's going to be Chris McCarthy and Alex Brundle, who's actually track guide. Let's see what they've made of the first 20 minutes of the session.
No doubt, but the soft tyre is going on, Gary. So this is where we've had the medium tyre carryover. I guess an initiation test into the streets of Monaco. Now this is our dress rehearsal to qualify.
Exactly. So I think this will be, they'll be getting the cars ready. They'll have a look at the data so far. The drivers will be looking at, looking at the lap times, where they stand compared to others, and now going to head out on that soft tyre for, as you say, a bit of a practice for qualifying.
It really is. Noah Stromstead down the hill, taking this circuit on for the first time, like many of them out there, and this the one they all want to win around the streets of Monaco. A win here at any level, I think, whatever championship you're racing, is one you're always going to remember. If you can go on that famous podium.
Yeah, it's one of the Triple Crown, isn't it? In motorsport, Indy 500. Monaco GP and Le Mans, and I think everyone remembers winning at Monaco. There's no other race circuit in the world you remember just winning a race, like this. It's incredible, and it's certainly something that will stay on the CV of any driver that manages to do it. And it's special for a reason. It's such a difficult circuit to drive, and like we said, qualifying is so important here. It's so important because there are a few overtaking opportunities around here, but the winner of the race in F3 has converted, the pole position has been converted into the win 100% so far in F3. So it's so important to get your car right for qualifying.
It really is. Isaac Hadjar, for context, put in a great performance here. Put the car on pole on an F1 weekend, then won the race, and after that, all of a sudden, he was part of that Red Bull family, and look at where he is now. He came to the Formula 3, did a great job. So good performance around here goes a long way to impressing those teams above. Tim Tramnitz will know that. He is part of the Red Bull Junior team, and he leads the way so far in terms of this session. Okay, this is our first look at the softer tyres. Callum Boyden we look at coming down to the first corner at Sandermont.
Yeah, as he comes down to Sandermont, I think it'd be interesting to see how many kind of warm laps they're having with the tyres here, which is bedding in. These days, we see, because the tyres aren't heated, they're not in blankets, they're cold tyres, so you have to do a few prep laps just to get the temperatures in the right window before they actually attack the lap. So he's not really pushing just yet, obviously starting, I don't know if this is probably his first lap after the outlap, just to warm the tyres up and just get them in gently. And the drivers will feel the tyre when it starts to grip up, and then they'll be testing it a bit more, pushing it a bit harder to see if it's really in the window. The teams will obviously, they've done all of the prep and all the simulations about how many laps and what speed you need to know. They'll be telling the drivers what lap time they need to do, how hard they need to push to get the tyres in the perfect window to start that push lap.
Definitely. So it's going to be a completely unique challenge for the likes of Louis Sharp coming onto the streets of Monaco. I think we can talk about him in a broader sense, like all the rookies. He's jumped up from GB3, used to racing on circuits, now has to adapt to the streets of Monaco, the Kiwi, in with Martini Stenchel now, and just going through that process. And here back in pit lane, we see the Trident team slightly out of sequence, maybe with the rest of the field preparing those soft tyres for Noah Stromstead. But everyone just getting themselves ready for these soft tyres to see what they can do as more cars leave the pit lane, and that is number 17 of Tim Tramnitz going out onto the circuit now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how many runs they can do. Obviously, the qualifying session will be 16 minutes long, so they've kind of gone out at 16 minutes pretty much just to try and see, simulate a qualifying session, and it'd be interesting to see how many runs they can do on this tyre, whether they can push and then do a cool lap or two, just cool it down and go again. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of laps they're going to do, because it's the first time they've run this soft tyre this season. So yeah, it'll be quite different. As you see Boyson here, he started to push lap there, but then obviously got some traffic, had a bit of a moment up at Massenet, and backed off as he comes through Mirabeau now and into the hairpin, and just getting out of the way now of a car behind. But no one is really pushing that hard yet on the soft tyres. I think just finding the way.
I think you're right. I think he was definitely going to go for one there, but Tim Tramnitz's in front, so he's essentially gone back a lap now to join the queue here. And this, as you correctly say, it's going to be a 16-minute session tomorrow, and everyone essentially just trying to go and do a 16-minute session on those soft tyres. And Louis Sharp is now the one leading this queue. We've got Tim Tramnitz, Callum Boysen, and Bruno Delpino is at the back. Places around this circuit to watch from. What's been the best view you've had around here, Gary?
Yeah, it's pretty beautiful. When I was the reserve driver for McLaren here, there was a few suites above Saint Deveau I was in, and the view you get from up there is pretty incredible. So yeah, there's a lot of nice partner apartments that they end up taking over for the weekend. So yeah, you get to see a lot. I've not been on a boat, sat on the back of a boat yet, but that's probably quite nice as well.
Yeah, but that's how you pretty much have to get around on a Grand Prix weekend. For reference, for people watching, if they haven't watched a Formula 3 session or a Formula 2 session on an F1 weekend, the paddock, it's quite a journey for the drivers to actually get to the circuit. They all use vans for their equipment, and the paddock's quite a bit away, isn't it, from the pit lane?
Yeah, logistically it's a tough weekend. Even the F1 teams, they're in a three-tier garage, which is very different to normal. So yeah, it's a challenging event, but everyone kind of just gets on with it because it's Monaco. You know, it's special. They just kind of deal with it. I think anywhere else in the world they kick up a stink and complain quite a lot, but it's Monaco, so yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, and that's the thing we were talking about earlier on about how unique this place actually is in order to give you a real sense of atmosphere and a sense of surprise, really, when it comes to this place. Now, first lap times coming on with soft compound tyres. Now, we saw 123s in qualifying last year. This medium tyre could do a 126. Is it really 3 seconds a lap faster across this running order? As they fly down into the braking zone. This is Louis Sharp coming in. Personal best in sectors 1 and sectors 2. A bit of a slide. Got one of the cars just ahead of him with Callum Watson then on as well, right behind doing a lap. I think he's abandoned it. Sharp goes to 19th. Now half the field will go out for a 16-minute session tomorrow morning, followed then by a 10-minute break and the second session going out. Callum Watson over the line. 21st still at the moment. Backed out of his run and goes for a second lap time. To combat the signal issues that we're having here in Monaco, by the way, some of the F1 teams have put up some Starlink technology around the circuit, and so are some of the marshalling systems as well. We're spotting them around the circuit, actually. Yellow flag has come out on the track as Kyle Vosin comes down into red flag, and there's our session suspended and off backwards. With rear suspension and front suspension gone off is the Trident of Noah Stromstead coming out of the first corner right across the pit entry. So he's come through the first part of the corner at Saint-Devote, whacked into the barrier, bounced back across, and he's lying at a sort of 85-degree angle across the exit of the pit lane here. Now with 11 minutes to go, that's really going to frustrate the teams. Barrier damaged as well. Tech Pro come off. Getting the car out is actually the easiest part here in Monaco. Usually that could be covered under a virtual safety car, but the barrier damage is what's brought out the red flag here. So, what was it? 1:26.608 last lap times. Yeah, we're well away. 1:28.498 from Louis Sharp. So no big improvement there. Stromstead is out of the car. He is okay, which is great news. Hops behind the barrier. Oh, it always makes me wince when they do that as well because it's sharp. Carbon fibre. Yeah, just locked up at entry. It's actually done more damage than you think from such a small accident because he's bounced over the curb. Let's have a look at it. Turns in, hits the curb, rear steps out. He tries to correct it, whacks the end of the barrier. The Tech Pro rips the front left suspension off. And it's the worst angle to have an accident as well because it does the most damage with such a small mistake. Yeah, front suspension, side pod. It would have done the opposite end of the suspension because it's there's no steering, there's no direct like steer-by-wire, as they call it nowadays as well. It's all done with this right steering column. There's no power steering, so you hit the wall and it bounces back and breaks the other side of the suspension. So the red flag is out then. The session is suspended. It's very windy out there as well, as that marshal's flag points us out. So session's suspended then. Let's head back over to the world feed with Gary Paffett alongside Chris McCarthy, former McLaren test driver.
Noah Stromsted's car retrieved, which I've got to say, they're very quick around here getting cars retrieved, Gary.
They are.
I don't look at you to say you're experienced at that, but...
No, they're very good around here. The marshals here, they know how to get cars out of the way on the street circuit. They've done it so many years, so I wouldn't expect this delay to be too long to just get the car out of the way, clean up a little bit of debris. The tyre barrier was still kind of intact, so they'll be really keen to get out because they were going through that warm-up process. Now that has been interrupted, so for all of them now going into qualifying, they're not going to know exactly how that warm-up process is going to work because the cars have come in, the tyres have cooled down a bit. But yeah, with 8.5 minutes left to go now, I think they'll still get enough time to be able to get temperature into the tyres and get lap time in. But it's definitely interrupted all of their programs.
Yeah, and we'll wait for that car to be retrieved, and then they'll be back out onto the circuit. There it is. So the first victim on the streets of Monaco, Noah Stromsted, and I'm sure there could be more. And there's one of the boats you've got to get on and get a view of. Gary, you haven't had that chance yet.
No, that's a view that not many people get of Monaco, being basically hung from a crane. But like I say, they know how to do it around here. They know how to get cars out of the way, and that will be behind the barrier before we know it, and they'll be ready to go with probably around 7 minutes left of the session, so still enough time to get a few laps in. But as you say, with such little time yet, I'm probably expecting a little bit of traffic out there right now.
Absolutely. There comes the Mercedes Junior back down to pit lane. They all would have had a run plan, I'm sure, going into this. I guess that almost goes out the window now. They have to readjust this. Will that be conversations now between them and the guys on their pit walls to say, okay, this is what we're going to do now? And as you mentioned, a case of just trying to find some space.
Yeah, exactly. I think that they would have had, a warm-up procedure for the tyres to get the tyres up to the right temperature and push, and then probably have, like I say, a cool lap or two just to cool them down again, and then go again and do another run. Now it might just be a case of going out there, warming them, get a lap in and just have a bit of continuity because, like I say, there might be people on build laps when people are on push laps and a bit of traffic. So they'll just be going out there just trying to get a lap, but also just trying to get the drivers to get a feel of these tyres. They might not get, a great lap time in, but that doesn't matter. It's only pre-practice. They just need to get a feel of the car, the balance of the car, and to see where they are ready for qualifying for tomorrow.
Look there, Rafa Kamara's crash helmet for this weekend. It looks fantastic, I have to say. He is currently in P8 right now. The green flag is out, but not much activity in terms of people moving, so everyone is waiting. 20 seconds I'm hearing, actually, until we got the green flag, so not quite. We're going to be going at 6 minutes to go, so I think this is going to be a sprint out. All the hands are at the ready, and it will be 29 cars released pretty much at the same time. We're going to be going in 2 seconds, and that is the green flag, and there we go, straight out. MP Motorsport at the front of the queue. They will lead us out. Tim Tramnitz from Giusti and Del Pino.
Yeah, and them drivers at the front are going to be the ones, but the only ones with clear track.
Yeah.
It depends how greedy. I mean, the car's now sitting in the pit lane, building themselves a bit of a gap. Probably said he had a bigger problem actually, just to fake it out. Getting him a few more seconds, but all of these cars are going to be trying to fight for a bit of clear track and a few seconds margin to the car in front.
Yeah, as you mentioned, by the time everyone gets out, Tim Tramnitz won't be far away from getting round. Ugo Ugochukwu has not got going. I'm not sure if he is waiting or if there is a problem with his car.
He's outside.
He's front left.
Yeah, I think
he's outside of his grid box, so he's tried to go and then been stopped. Now he's being held again. So just a few issues, it looks like, down there before he'll get the green to go back out. 5 minutes then, that's enough for a double build and a push, which is what you need in these tyres. You don't get the chance for Full course yellow board down there. That is left over from Formula E. We don't have full course yellow in Formula 1, we have virtual safety car. So just a little bit of a surprise there down at the Fairmont hairpin. It said Lowe's, but that's why the hotel keeps changing. It used to be a bus station, so it's station hairpin to me still. Then we've got Gasworks, which was now Rascas as they come through. Nouveau chicane. Always was a chicane, but it used to be very quick left-right. Got changed in the 1980s after Prost's accident. And modifications were made through to back of the swimming pool section. Of course, that section got renewed in 2004 to open up the barrier, give a bit more runoff area down there, alongside the new paddock and pit complex, which was opened up in 2005. Used to be in a very small, cramped pit lane, and it was not the best. So a whole new thing was built across the start line. The only sort of weird tarmac is there. It sort of glows orange under the sun. It's reddy orange. It's the most unique. Miami tried it for the whole racetrack, didn't work in their first year. Travelling there, fastest first sector of anybody. This is more like it, 23.5. Now as he comes through, Portier under the tunnel. Pushes back down the power. Only DRS in this series, no push to pass, no kinetic boost. Under braking. Doesn't lock the fronts. That's very nice actually from Chapman. He's looked on form so far across this practice session. Into the back now. Up towards the bar at the exit. So he's half a second up on this time. So this is looking to be inside the 126.1s, maybe 125.9s, but he's got traffic coming through. Yeah, 2 cars in traffic. This is going to be the problem he has to face. He may as well complete the lap time. He was up anyway. Over the line then comes Tim Trumanitz, and it is a 1. He lost a lot of time. 0.7 of a second. Oh, Badoa and Ugachuru instant pit lane infringements were notified. We knew about Ugachuru, we saw that, but didn't know about Brandon Badoa. Stenshaw across the line. 10th fastest still. Solov looking strong. Over the line. Doesn't improve, stays 4th. Mary Boyer 18th to 1st. 126.393 on the soft compound tyre. Into Prover's Act to 7th. Much better now, and yellow flag down at turn number 1. As off the circuit, with a lockup goes Ivan Dominguez, who's running in 16th place on a 128, now 118. That's dropped him down actually, as a few other drivers come through. He's dropped down to 18th now, with Brandon Badoa and Christian Ho going faster. Steinshaw, Bradley Demons are not going quicker, but that's the same lockup you can have down the first corner. Just outbreak yourself down at Saint-Devot. On more than was Stenshaw. We've got traffic down into the Nouveau chicane. They abide by the traffic laws, and here is Ivan Dominguez then. I'm expecting a lockup on the inside front, exactly what's happened, straight on. Straight down to the extreme end of Saint-Devot. My goodness me. Did not want to lock up those tyres at all. There's actually a chapel down there, that's why they call it Saint-Devot. There is actually the smallest chapel in the world is down there in the first corner. And several drivers have flown down there in the past. Felipe Massa did it twice in 2013. Once in practice 3, once in the race. Identical accidents. There was a bump on the inside line that is still there to this day. Brad Benedivez then. First sector, 23.2 into the Nouveau chicane. It really has seemed like a very long 45 minutes as it comes through, hasn't it? 26.393. Usually practice flies by. There's been a lot of going on today. Into the chicane. Round now, Rascas. Oh, whoa! Huge amount of traffic, and Brad Benedivez with the avoiding skills was fantastic to almost dart towards the pit lane. 3 wide, and he has to make it 4 to avoid a airplane accident coming into Anthony Noakes. Buzzing over the line of the checker flag out fastest by 0.2 of a second. 1:26.187. Stunning time there. Brad Benedives in P7. Now says P8. That's because TFL now goes up into 4th. Stenchel now coming through. He's 22 thousandths off as he's bouncing across the swimming pool chicane in the high tech. Hard on through Larascas. Anthony Noakes. Watch the cone. Over the line we come in about 3 seconds time. Checker flag ready, and it is a second fastest time. 1:26.360. Champion to the top. 1:25.841. Solov though, fastest in that middle sector. Joshua Dufek goes up into 11th. Over the line. Now, fastest by another 0.2. 1:25.622. That time is definitely going to improve in the race tomorrow. Or qualifying in the race Saturday. It's weird that we're only having one a day for the series. Across all the support categories. I'm not sure if Porsches are on later or not. Yeah, they are. Porsches are on later after F2. And then we've got qualifying for tomorrow, and then they don't do anything on Saturday. They're back for the race on Sunday. There were rumours that we could add a second race at Monaco with the Porsches, but it costs too high. Brad Benedives there. This was his avoiding skills. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars in the braking zone. So I'm trying to go into the pit lane, and Benedives says, whoop, thank you very much. If that was Formula 1, it would have been a red flag situation. Look how close my boy got to the barrier, the entry to the swimming pool section as well. Even Formula 3 now are flirting with the lines. So it's Nicholas Solov, fastest, from Tim Chamberlain's in second. The man who was looking fastest out the entire session misses out on a clean lap. Solov with a 1:25.622 is the top. Charlie Wirtz in third. Rafa Kamara in fourth. And this is why there'll be a delay to the support action for Formula 2 here. We have to move everything away from the circuit. So there's an hour delay before we're back up for the next one, because we now have to move the Formula 3 cars back around the circuit, into the support pit lane, and then go again. Not bad. Let's check in then with Chris and Garrett.
Yeah, third year will always have a bit of an advantage, you know, to start with. But all of them drivers now will be able to go back, look at the data, look at what they've done, you know, make some changes to the car, and qualifying will be quite a different story, I think, compared to what we've seen today. 2
rookies in the top 10. One of them is the driver on screen.
Wirtz is under investigation for crossing the finish line twice at the end of the session. So that's usually a good penalty.
I feel that he's already P4 after practice.
Yeah, it's not a surprise there, is it?
No.
Based on his season so far, but still really impressive for his first time here to be that competitive. And as I say, I don't think there was many drivers out there that really got a clear lap through the traffic that we had. So yeah, as you see them all coming here to line up to do a practice start, which is kind of regular at the end of practice sessions.
And the start here, crucial, the chance where you can get a place if you're on the front row. The view up to turn 1. Talk us through it.
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty difficult turn 1. You know, side by side into Saint-Devote off the line is challenging. You've got to respect each other. You've got to leave each other a bit of room. At the pole position on the inside here, which is difficult to a lot of circuits because, you know, the shape of the road. Normally, the pole position will be on the outside because that's the racing line going into turn 1. But on the inside here, because the inside line into Saint-Devote is really, really important.
This was our leader in the session, Nicholas Solov. That'll give him a big confidence boost going into qualifying tomorrow. Remember, we are going to be qualifying tomorrow at 11 local time with 2 groups, and Nicholas Solov will be in that first group with the even-numbered cars. And I think everyone around would have enjoyed that session. Group B will be up after in the odd-numbered sessions, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching as well. We're up to speed and away in Formula 3 for round 4 of the weekend. Practice has been complete. Next time it will be for qualifying sessions. Nicholas Soloff fastest, 125.622 Tim Tramnitz per second. Then the Tridents, Charlie Wirtz, Rafa Kamara, the championship leader, Callum Boyes in fifth, Noel Leon, Martinius Stenshaw, Mary Boyer, Lawrence Van Hoopen, Teofil Nard, the only other rookie in the top 10, along with Rafa Kamara in P4. So a good session from Niall. Lots of drivers didn't get their times in. We'll keep that as a reference. Santiago Ramos 11th. We reversed the top 12 for the sprint race in Formula 3, so that would have been a good session for Ramos and Pugachuku. Giusti Belinsky, G, Dominguez, Dufek, Tapanen, Benavides, who we saw get compromised on his lap at the end, 19th. Delpino was in 20th. Stromstead, who brought out the red flag after a crash at the first corner, did not get any flying laps in on the sub tyre. Inch-Puvac was next, then it was Headley, Sharp, Lacorte, Zagazeta, Ho, Badouer, Wharton, Marin and Jelly rounded out the field in 30th position.
So we got Formula 3 qualifying up tomorrow, then followed by F2 practice coming up next in about an hour's time. Join us back here on JB Motorsports for all of the action. An interesting first one of the weekend then, the first of many as we get ready for Monaco. We'll see you shortly for F2. Bye-bye.